of a knife with intent to use. Thank you very much for talking to our audience tonight. And just explain to everybody watching what drew you to carrying a knife and what sort of knives you used to carry.
It's like for protection and like flick knives, zombie knives, Stanley blades, just anything just to keep on me.
Protection from what? From who?
Anyone, everyone, drug dealers, enemies.
How did it make you feel carrying a knife?
At ease.
Did it?
It made me feel I was safe.
And when you used to leave the house in the morning, would you always take a knife? Like, you've got your phone, you've got your keys, you've got your knife?
Every day.
Really?
When I walked out the house, I'd make sure it was in my waistband.
Wow. So what stopped you carrying a knife?
Got arrested, went to jail, and I thought, no, I can't do it no more. I'm an adult now. Like a full-grown man that shouldn't be doing this sort of stuff.
So it was partly maturing and partly the experience of being in jail?
Yeah.
You just didn't want to be back there?
No, it's a horrible place.
Yeah. So in that sense, the punishment worked?
Kinda, yeah.
Well, it did.
But other people are still doing it, so it's not really it's done me justice, but not everyone else.
Do you still have friends who carry knives?
I know people that do, yeah.
Right.
But that's a different story.
Yeah. Oh, can I go through some of the things that have been announced today by both the government and by Labour, who want to be the next government? So zombie knives, we're told, are going to be banned from September, and I think we've got some images to show people of exactly what zombie knives are, because they are pretty easy to get hold of. And they've closed a loophole, which means whether they've got images on the handle or not, they are going to be banned. Do you think people will still be able to get hold of knives like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Easy. You've got the black markets. There's ways of getting everything, and if you can source it, you can get it. So they need to stop selling knives online.
Well, that is a key thing, isn't it? And Labour say they're going to look at the age checks when it comes to buying stuff online. They're going to try and clamp down on that. Would that help?
Not really, though, because you can get other people to buy it for you.
Fair enough. OK. So this is what else the government say. Punishment for carrying a banned knife going up from 6 months to 2 years.
So for my first offence, I got 6 months for a knife. Second one, I got a year. And the third one got run consecutive for my third strike, which I got 3 years.
Right.
So I had to do 18 months of that and time for the drugs.
But if you'd had 2 years as the first one, instead of the 6 months, do you think that would have stopped you from going back to it?
Possibly, possibly not.
Yeah. Right, this is what Labour is saying. Every offender referred to a youth offending team who would have a tailored action plan for that individual to prevent them reoffending.
Say that again?
A tailored kind of action plan for an offender to stop them reoffending.
It's all about the government and the services. They don't do anything for ex-offenders to do with them sort of crimes. So there need to be something in place with probation, the police, the courts, to actually help someone to try and change their life around.
Yeah.
And no one gets given a chance for that.
The other thing that Labour say is serious penalties, curfews, tagging, or something called behavioural contracts.
What's that one?
Well, that's a really good question. I mean, if someone said sign this, and when you sign your name, you're not allowed to carry a knife, what would you think of that?
They're still going to do it though, aren't they? So everything, like the tagging, they'll stop them from going out for a certain time, but they're still going to carry it from the time they're allowed out.
And then setting up youth hubs in every community with mental health staff and youth workers, as well as mentors in pupil referral units and youth workers stationed in A&E departments.
Yeah, I think there should be a lot more youth centres for kids to help them get them off the streets. Because there's mums out there that are single parents that can't afford to do things with them or have to work more jobs to even try and fund it. So the kids are finding like a higher role model to look up to, which is not their parents.
Right.
So if the government could help put more money into broken homes, families, then maybe the crimes will like cut down.
You think that would make a difference? So what would your message be then?
Just stop people from using knives. Like, just there's no point going to jail or getting your mum to lay flowers at a grave. It's not a nice feeling.
James, thank you very much for talking to us. We really
You're
appreciate it. Thank you. James Atkinson, who was jailed for carrying a knife and has turned things around, as you heard. Right, let's have a look at some of the front pages of the newspapers, and they all talk about the sentencing of the killer of the two Nottingham University students and the caretaker, Ian Coates.